Okay, so hopefully you guys can see me okay. This is take 3 of this video because the first time, I don't know what happened to it. It just deleted off my phone, and the second time was kind of weird. So we're gonna try it again. All right, so basically, what I wanted to do is just to really quickly show you how I talk through division with your students and how I taught it to them today. We're doing the long division or old school standard algorithm for division, and so because that's not what's in the book, it should be what you're more familiar with because it's what we learned when we were in school. However, I just wanted to kind of talk through the verbiage that I use and just a couple of different little tricks that I try and teach them to help them when it comes to doing long division, because sometimes it can be just something that once they learn the steps and the strategy, they can get it and it's pretty easy, but it's just kind of getting those steps and strategies. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples to just kind of again show you how I talk through it. So if I have 396 divided by 7, okay, that's my division problem. I have to remember that first of all, I have them list the steps of long division, and we remember the acronym Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers really, to write down our steps. So we do Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers really? And that stands for divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down, and repeat. And then the R could also stand for remainder if we're at the very end of the problem. The other thing that we keep in mind is that because 7 is my divisor, I'm making groups of 7. And so I want to, so I'm going to be skip counting by 7 a lot. And if 7 or whatever the divisor is a number that your child's not great at skip counting by, then it's always a good idea to just over to the side list out the multiples of that divisor up to times 9, because that will just really make the problem go so much smoother. So I'm going to just do that really quickly. So I would go 7, 14, 21, 28, and let's imagine that's as far as I can go. So now I'm just going to count up my groups of 7. So 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. And then I just keep going up until I get to 7 times 9. Okay, and like I said, this is just a little strategy if your child's not really great at skip counting. It's always best to know the multiplication facts and to know them with automaticity, but sometimes they don't, and that's okay. It just takes practice, but this right here is just a really great strategy to use. So now I'm going to go ahead and start my division, and I'm going to think, how many groups of 7 can I get out of 3? Again, I'm always using the same verbiage because it just kind of helps us to think about what we're actually doing when we're dividing and working through the problem. So how many groups of 7 can I get out of 3? None, because 3 is smaller than 7. So I put an X up top and I move on over. How many groups of 7 can I get out of 39? Well, I'm going to skip count by 7s until I get to 39, or as close as I can without going over. And this is how I do it. And we go right down our list because we've already written down our multiples of 7. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42 is too much. So I got 5 groups out. And so I write that number up top. Next step is to multiply the number I just wrote times the divisor. 7 times 5 is 35. And then I subtract and I get 4. I check, is 4 smaller than 7? Yes, it is. If 4 is not smaller than 7, or whenever I subtract, if the number is not smaller than the divisor, that number is not big enough and I need to fix it. Okay, so 4 is smaller than 7, so I'm good there. I bring down my 6 and I repeat my steps. How many groups of 7 can I get out of 46? So again, I'm skip counting by 7s until I get to 46, or as close to 46 as I can without going over. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. Oh, 49 is too big, so I got 6 groups. All right, and then I do 6 times 7, which is 42, and I subtract, and I get 4. Is 4 smaller than 7? Yes, it is, so I'm good there. There's nothing left to bring down. That means that I'm done dividing. Now, what we talked about, if the number here is 0, I'm done. That's my quotient. However, I have leftovers here. I have 4 leftovers. So I was able to make 56 groups of 7, and then I have 4 leftovers. So it's a remainder of 4. Okay, now this is something that I didn't show your students today. However, division is the opposite of multiplication, and so I can use multiplication to check my answer for long division. And to do that, I take the quotient, which is 56, and I multiply that by 7. So 56 times 7. 7 times 2 is 42. Regroup my 4. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4 more is 39. And then I add in my remainder, so plus 4 is 396. That's what I started with, so I have the right answer. Okay, and so basically I use that exact same verbiage every single time I talk through a division problem, just because it helps them to think through and remember the steps, remember what they're doing. I'm going to show you one more just as another example, and just so you can hear it one more time. Okay, and then the Math Antics video that I linked in your homeschool plans is also another great teaching tool to talk through long division. So let's say I have 347 divided by 5. Now, 5 is a number that most kids can skip count by without listing, so I'm not going to worry about listing my multiples of 5. However, for some reason your child's having trouble with that, they're just going to list their multiples over to the side. Okay, and I have my steps written here, so I'm ready to get started. So how many groups of 5 can I get out of 3? None, because 3 is smaller than 5. I move over. How many groups of 5 can I get out of 34? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, 35 is too many, so I have 6. Next step, multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. I subtract. I get 4. 4 is smaller than 7. Bring down my, 7. 4 is smaller than 5, so I bring down my 7, and then I repeat. How many groups of 5 can I get out of 47? Again, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 9. 9 groups. And 9 is the biggest number that I can write here because I'm going one digit at a time, and 9 is the biggest one-digit number. So that's kind of something to keep in mind. We're never going to have to be able to skip count past this number times 9 for long division because 9 is the biggest digit that I can write up here. All right, my next step is to multiply. 9 times 5, 45. I subtract. I get 2. 2 is smaller than 7. I have nothing left to bring down, so 2 is my remainder. And again, if I want to check my answer, I'm going to take 69, which is my quotient, times 5. 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 4 is 34. And then I add in my remainder, so plus 2 more. 347. I started with 347, so I'm correct. All right, so I hope that that was helpful for you, and please let me know if you have any questions. All right, bye.